Man, I'm so upset. I'm gonna cancel my pre-order of Sparking Zero right now. Man, what is it this time? What, they didn't add Frieza Soldier number 337? No! They said that split-screen local multiplayer is only gonna have one stage. So pissed. Wait, you serious? Bro, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order too! Yeah! You know what? Let's go beat up Bandai, even though they aren't the producers, and we're just mad about nothing. Yeah, let's go beat their asses!
Well, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to Bandai Namco.
Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video. Let's talk about local multiplayer slash split screen mode. This is a super important thing and feature that's going to be added to this game. I like how I say added because, you know, this is something that a lot of us expected. This should be like a basic thing that, you know, these types of games have. An arena fighter, a Dragon Ball game, you know, something that has been a feature in all the previous games, at least, you know, the older ones, right? Having a local multiplayer mode is very important for a game like this, okay? And we had our official confirmation and reveal last month that split screen slash local multiplayer would be in the game, but it was more of a last minute addition. I don't want to say last minute, but they definitely didn't prepare for this, and they didn't expect to add this, okay? That wasn't the plan. All right, the plan was focus on online PvP and then regular single player, you know, mode like story, custom battle, etc., like all the other modes. But it came as kind of a surprise for some of us that they actually did go through with adding it after kind of saying in interviews that they weren't going to do it. Now, this isn't, you know, anything brand new in terms of information. Like I said, last month we got this reveal, but I kind of wanted to talk about it and expand upon it and get your opinion, okay? This is going to be more of like a community type of video where, you know, I want you guys to comment your opinions on this and how it could potentially change or, you know, improve after the game launches, okay? Because one of the major, I guess, criticisms or issues that people have with this is that it's only on one map. You can only choose one map, and that is the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. The reason for that being because it is basically an empty space. One of the issues, I guess, or just like the major issue for why this is only on this stage and it was implemented more last minute and everything, is that it doesn't have a lot of rendering with it. You have just, like I said, it's an empty space. You're seeing it, as well as that little, you know, what do you even consider that? Just like the little landmark thing with the hourglasses and like the little like room there. That's it. Okay, that's the only thing. I have no idea if you can even destroy that. I would assume that maybe you could because, you know, there's got to be at least some kind of, you know, destruction. But if you, for example, had a stage like the city, like West City, okay? Whew, that would be so much rendering and, you know, just too much shit going on. It would lag the game like crazy. And I'm not saying that the game is not optimized yet or anything. And, you know, we saw a lot of the lag occurring due to overheating on the PS5. It was just in a bad, you know, environment. Like the conditions of it were not good. It was like in a box and everything. But even on some of the PvP multiplayer that I recently saw, you know, in some of the gameplay that was posted, there was a little bit of lag on that too. And that could just be like a bad connection potentially. But I mean, the people that were playing are right next to each other. So there could still be a little bit of lag just depending on what's going on. Like, for example, when a giant character was on screen, the game was, it wasn't 60 FPS anymore. That's all I'll say, okay? So, just imagine that with local multiplayer split screen. Oh my god, it would be abysmal, okay? Which is something that somebody stated on Reddit, which we'll talk about the Reddit stuff in just a second, because there's a lot of opinions on Reddit that I want to go over. Just, you know, keep in mind that's going to be in the last part. So, let's just go over what they said about the split screen local multiplayer, okay? This is something that, again, isn't brand new. You know, this has been posted for a while or whatever, but I didn't get a chance to go over it because I want to get their insight on everything, okay? So now, in addition to the game modes that they talked about, okay, we like to talk about local multiplayer battling, something that we've been asked about a lot. Again, this was something that was more fan feedback, okay? People had a large outcry over the lack of a local multiplayer, which they talked about in an interview. They said that, you know, that's something that they had trouble doing and it wasn't something that they initially planned for, okay? But they were open to feedback, and they were going to try their best, which they absolutely did, and I appreciate that, okay? Our focus for this game was seeing how far we could get players to really become Dragon Ball series characters. We wanted to show effects like the wind blasting around, the weather changing just by charging your ki, rocks and buildings being dynamically destroyed by the force of battle, and take advantage of the power of the latest generation of consoles, okay? Which I know, again, a lot of people criticize that with, you know, more power, more just how insane these consoles are getting, okay? You would think that a local multiplayer with all the maps wouldn't be that much of an issue, okay? If the older games had it, why not this one, right? But again, you know, that's just how it is, the situation with how insane rendering and all that is or whatever. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not a game dev. I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about it, but I'm just going based off of what professionals or others have said, right? With that in mind, it was difficult to implement local split-screen multiplayer while retaining those core elements. So we developed this game with online multiplayer and an offline single-player mode in mind. Again, that was the plan, okay? However, we have always wanted for as many people as possible to enjoy the game in various situations. They're saying in regards to people who do not have, for example, I guess, online, internet, don't want to pay for an online service. I think in this day and age, most people have internet, okay? But, I mean, there are people who don't, okay? Because, you know, obviously you got to pay for that, right? And then there are people who don't want to pay for an online service, which is also something I have always agreed with. It's stupid. We're already paying for internet. Why the fuck do I gotta pay for an online service to use your online, okay? If you play on PC, you don't gotta do that shit, right? If you're playing on PC, that could potentially be the best way to play this game. In my opinion, I think that would be the best, okay? If you're gonna play this game, definitely play it on PC because everything is just gonna run better. Obviously, you would have to have a really powerful PC, but if you're gonna play this game, yes, you're gonna have a good PC, all right? If your PC's kind of ass, you just play on the PS5, okay? You know what I mean? But like for me, an example of somebody who didn't get internet until like 2007, which that's a long time to wait. You know, internet was out for a while, right? I couldn't, you know, we couldn't afford it. We couldn't get it. We eventually got it. I got it alongside when I got my Wii for the first time because I wanted to actually download games and stuff, okay? I'm going off topic. I'm just saying, like, you know, everybody I knew had internet, okay? Maybe some of y'all didn't at that time, and maybe it took you even longer to get it. And, you know, like I said, you got to understand those types of situations, and that's what they're talking about here. So, after careful consideration, we have decided to implement the split-screen multiplayer mode exclusively within the hyperbolic time chamber stage, okay? So, a lot of people that were copium over that, I remember posting about it on Twitter, and I was like, hey, you know, this most likely is the situation. It could have been bad wording, but it was explicitly stated right there that it was going to be hyperbolic time chamber, okay? And lo and behold, it ended up, you know, being the case, okay? Which, I mean, it makes sense, right? As character selection was originally designed with single-player gameplay in mind, there will unfortunately be a slight inconvenience during character selection before a split-screen battle. Two players cannot simultaneously select characters, and only one player may choose a character at a time. However, we hope this mode will allow players to enjoy local matches with friends and family. That's it for the game modes, okay? So that right there, I don't know if I even really saw too many people get upset about that or blow it out of proportion. I have no issue with that at all. Oh, God forbid, you know, you have to wait a couple of seconds for your, you know, for the other player, the opponent, to choose their character first. Like, that, I don't care about that. And again, I know, I would like more stages. It would be nice. But for me personally, this is not a big deal at all, okay? And you can, I mean, if you want to hate on me for saying this or not, go ahead. I really do not give two fucks. I don't even give a single fuck, all right? Yeah, I don't care. I have no issue with only playing on the hyperbolic time chamber, okay? For those of you that know me and see how I play Xenoverse 2, for example, you know there's one stage I go to all the damn time, okay? What is that? It's the Tournament of Power. And obviously the Tournament of Power is different or whatever. It's not the hyperbolic time chamber. But that just goes to show that, like, I'm here to just play the fucking game, okay? Like, stage destruction is cool. It makes it, I guess, feel, you know, cooler. Like, oh yeah, I just fucking blew up the fire hydrant on the ground. Like, yeah, let's go, right? It's cool, right? But that's not a make or break for me, right? The fact that they even have local multiplayer in the game and I can play with my brother, that's all I care about, okay? And I'm totally understanding. I'm a very understanding person about this, okay? If you want more stages, you absolutely should get more stages. I think we all deserve it. We're going to pay, good money for this game, okay? We've waited for this game for a long time. I think more stages should be part of this. But at the same time, again, you got to understand, this was a last-minute thing. So it's not, obviously this is all they can do right now. I want them to focus on the more important stuff, okay? Not saying that this isn't an important mode. It absolutely is. But let them cook on the other stuff. I want the game to play good. I want the foundation of this game to be as immaculate as possible. It's not going to be perfect. There's no way in hell that's possible. There's always going to be people who are going to criticize the game for whatever meal. Again, I always make a joke about this, but Goku's left nutsack. Oh, it's not, the detail on this, it's not anime accurate. You know how, there's just too much criticism with the game, and that's fine. That's good. We want it. They asked for it. But, some people are really, they're looking for stuff. They are hard at work to make sure they can find something to be mad about. Welcome to the internet. That's what it is. So, yeah, that's the situation with that. Again, I totally understand if you're disappointed by this, okay? I personally really didn't care all that much, I like more stages. That's great. If they want to add more stages, great, right? But, yeah, that's the situation with that. Now, the question is, can they add more stages post-game? I cannot really say if that's going to be a possibility. Maybe, right? New updates post-game can definitely be possible. However, I don't know if it's going to be possible for this without it, just shitting itself in terms of lagging or whatever. And maybe there's a way for them to optimize it. I cannot tell you. I am not a game developer. But last part of this video, I want to just talk about some stuff on Reddit. Again, Reddit is all opinionated. It's fucking Reddit, okay? But yeah, you don't have to watch this part if you don't care. I'm just gonna read off some opinions of what people think about split screen. So obviously this guy is very upset about it. He says, kind of a piss off, really. Was hyped for this game, but me thinks I'll stick with Fighters and Budokai Collection on PS3. If those are the games that you feel most comfortable with, more power to you, right? No hate. Only playable on the map that is practically empty with very little to render. Interesting solution, I guess. Probably the only reason it works in the first place. We do a lot of trickery to avoid rendering things the player can't see for performance. If you add a second camera, you make that math more complex, but also dramatically increase the chances that there won't be anything to hide, okay? Hyperbolic time chamber, I bet. You're right. Brings back so many memories of couch gaming with friends. Hopefully they make more after release, okay? So again, I don't know if these people have any experience in either game development or what, okay? But, I mean, some people on here will act like they do even though they don't. Not saying that these people are. I have no idea. I don't know who the fuck these people are, right? But this guy goes, that ain't happening. They don't do it because they didn't invested developing time on optimizing the game. That is why the game is current gen only, and what they used a cheap solution to have that label of multiplayer that will make many people fall for it, okay? I sure as hope this person is not a game developer, okay? Because I would not want them to be my game developer with the way they use in English. I'm making a joke, okay? This person might not be fluent in English or whatever. I really got to correct, or I really got to backtrack on everything I say. I can't make a joke without somebody getting offended, right? I'm surprised to see them make such an effort to bring it to one map. I figured, I can't even speak. Maybe I don't know English. It was more of a design direction versus a limitation until this. Reddit PS5 was speculating, blaming the Series S being a weaker bottleneck that Xbox requires feature parity for. I wonder how applicable that is for this game. I know it was a big deal for, I think that's Baldur's Gate, because that had split screen, which we discussed in a previous video. I never really played the Tenkaichi series split screen, though, so I'm excited either way. I believe it's because Series S split screen is a big deal for this game, right? Yeah, again, I can't say what the situation on the Series S thing. Obviously, it's a weaker console. It can only, for example, play the game in 2K or some shit like that. It can't get to 4K. There's a reason why it's a cheaper version of the Series X, right? Yeah, I can't say if that was one of the reasons why. I heard a lot of people blaming it on that. I don't know. It is what it is, whatever. But yeah, the Budokai Tenkaichi series made 2 versions of each map, one for single player and one for multiplayer. The single player one had more details, although not that visible, but probably if you like, you zoom in on it with a microscope, you would see everything, right? Now that we have a game that demands more memory to load all of the textures, the special effects, and details of the characters, the FPS and lag would be abysmal, as I, stated earlier in the video, right? So, yeah, I mean, I could go over this over and over and over. I think for the most part, we get the reason why they decided to opt for this and, what's going on. That doesn't mean people are happy about it. There are a lot of people that are disappointed about it. I get at least 1 or 2 people on, like, every single one of my videos saying for me to make a video about it or talk about it or whatever, and that's what I'm doing right now. If that makes you happy, if that, like I said, people asked for me to do it, and I also did want to talk about it because I really wanted to get your opinions on it and what you think. I think overall, if you want, you can give feedback about it, but I mean, if it's out of their control and they just don't think it's a optimal decision to focus more on split screen multiplayer, compared to focusing on the actual foundation of the game and making the actual game better in general. Like I said, it's up to you. If you want to, you can, I always link down below, usually in the description, like the Bandai Namco. It's like BandaiNamco.com/contact or some shit like that, where you can actually hit them up, message them. I have no idea if feedback is actually forwarded or not. Some of the responses that I'll get are very robotic/AI-esque. Have no idea if it's a real person or not. In the past, they have helped me in terms of my specific issue, okay? But I'm not saying that that's always the case for everyone, or if they've changed that, I don't know. But for the most part, like I said, for me personally, I'm very excited for this game overall. I'm happy with the split screen, how it is. Do I think it could be better? Absolutely. But it is what it is. I'm just happy it's in the game. If you're not, I totally get it, okay? I totally understand. If that breaks the game for you and you're not buying the game because of it, you do you, right? I'm going to enjoy the game when it comes out. I'm going to have a great time. There's no universe where I do not have a great time. That's all I'm going to say. All right, y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell. And if there are any other topics or things that you want me to talk about in this game, I'm absolutely down to. I yap a lot, so if that's what you guys like, cool. If you don't have to watch my content. Nobody's asking you or forcing you to. All right, peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.